WeiWei was born in 1975 in Beijing, and in 1981 he moved to New York for 12 years and then moved back to China in 1993. He's, he's a Chinese conceptual artist, also considered as the most famous Chinese artist living today. As an activist, he calls attention to human rights violation on an epic scale. He also expands definition of art by including new forms of social engagement. When human beings scared and feel everything is exposed to the government, we will censor ourselves from free thinking. That's dangerous for human development. WeiWei. This is considered one of his famous quotes. Um, um, and government spying is currently a really hot topic in contemporary art lately. It is not some futuristic idea, but a fact of life for Ai Weiwei. Since he was under government surveillance for almost a decade, he has produced some of the most thoughtful work on his contemporary topic. This is just as important in current popular culture as the hippies were in the 1960s, or the feminists in the 1970s. One fun fact about Ai Weiwei is he used to be a professional blackjack player. Most of his work is about risk, and it's designed to remind that risk-taking is an important form of exercise in free society. Ai Weiwei has experienced the totally opposite of freedom through all his life. When he was only 10, his family were exiled to a labor camp in the middle of the Gobi Desert. He has watched his father, formerly a respected artist, reduced to clean a communal toilet for over 200 people. It was so horrible that he was beaten every day. Due to the nutritional deprivation, he lost vision in one of his eyes. Over years, he has grown up to be as a man who is disgusted by the government abuse of power. He created a project named Fuck Off to express his hatred toward the government system.
Some of Ai Weiwei's past work includes dropping a Han Dynasty urn. This urn has symbolic and cultural worth. The urn is equivalent to a couple of thousand US dollars. By dropping this urn, Ai Weiwei provokes controversy, and this could be one of the reasons why the government and other people like antique dealers don't like Ai Weiwei. And Ai Weiwei counters this by saying General Ma used to tell us that we can only build a new world if we destroy the old one. In 2010, the Chinese government installed surveillance cameras in Ai Weiwei's home and studio. Ai Weiwei responded to this by creating a sculpture made out of marble called Surveillance Camera. He made the sculpture out of marble to symbolize set in stone. He reminds us of the omnipresence of this feature in Ai Weiwei's life. He also creates the sculpture as a way to stand in front of authority, and just like the way that the statue of a Roman emperor does.
So now we're going to jump into the project that our group is particularly interested in. It has a lot of relation to the content that we're learning in the Interactive Objects course. Ai Weiwei recently did an installation in New York that's under the topic of surveillance and uses technology to immerse visitors in this experience. It's called the Hansel and Gretel installation, and he partnered with a Swiss architecture firm to create it. Basically, visitors wander around a 55,000 square foot hall where their movements are recorded by infrared cameras that are on drones above them, and they are broadcasted live online. These images that are captured are projected back onto the space, which creates a very interesting and disorienting effect. Once the visitors are finished going through the room, then they are brought into a different room where they are actually able to watch other users go through the first room. and they see a live stream of the individuals that are in the room before them. They're also able to learn about drones and test facial recognition technology, so it's a very informative artwork piece. We're interested in this work because of the storytelling that's behind it and the informative factor of it. So basically, anyone that goes into this installation won't walk out without knowing the artist's intent, and they won't walk out without having some sort of realization or learning something, or basically learning about surveillance and lack of privacy and the technology that's out there today, and how it can recognize faces and people and track air movements. So the visitors will gain a lot of knowledge, as I said before, from this installation, and it's also, this work is very fitting for Ai Weiwei. It relates to his past work. It's under the topic of surveillance. He himself is an artist that has had direct experience of being watched 24/7 and being held in rooms and having his privacy completely breached. So the technology that's used in this installation is also very interesting. Infrared energy detection on drones are able to capture movement and then basically project back the images that they capture into the room. So it has a bit of a projection mapping quality to it. My group is trying to explore projection mapping technology as well right now. And the drone most likely has like a Raspberry Pi or some sort of small computer that's connected to a network that can send data to the projectors and online. And then the fact that the data is sent in real time and the projection is corresponding with the visitor's movements is quite interesting. An infrared camera is a non-contact device that detects heat and energy that's emitted from the users, and this is converted into an electrical signal, which is then processed to produce a thermal image on a video monitor. So that was something new that I was able to learn and take away from researching this installation. And that is the end of the presentation, so I'd like to thank you for listening.